Here's 7 cards that you should be running in your commander decks but aren't for some reason. It's okay, I'm here to help fix that. For our blue card, we have Thrumming Bird. 1 in a blue, creature type Fire Exian Bird Horror with flying. Whenever Thrumming Bird deals damage to a player, proliferate. Choose any number of permanents and/or players, then give each another counter of each kind they already have there. 1/1. This card can be a real powerhouse since it can give anything another counter. This is super useful for your Planeswalkers, experience counters, if somebody else at the table has a poison counter on them. You can also be diplomatic with it by helping beef up other creatures and Planeswalkers at the table, since you can target any permanent. On top of all that, the condition to proliferate is just to make contact with somebody's face, with a flyer. That's not going to be an issue most of the time. And on the rare occasion we don't have a target, we can convince somebody to let us get in 1 measly damage through in exchange for some help in the game. Don't let its small size deceive you. This card is a powerhouse. For our green card, we have Season of Growth. 1 in a green for an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. So this is cool because it's super low to the ground and gets incremental value throughout the game. Sure, scry isn't as nice as draw, but whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, that includes token, flicker effects, we're going to be scrying a lot. We're also in green, which means we can run a few pump spells or cards that give protection to get some card draw. Don't even get me started on playing this in a multicolored deck. The strength of the ability to help us dig through our deck for what we need throughout the game cannot be expressed enough. For our red card, we have Where Ancients Tread. 4 in a red. Enchantment. Whenever a creature with power 5 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Where Ancients Tread deal 5 damage to target creature or player. You always hear people talking about impact tremors, but never this. While this does require you to be playing bigger creatures, it also deals 5 damage to any creature or player, so it acts as removal. This card is also way more useful than it looks on the surface. Wormcoil triggers this, a lot of Dragon you are probably already running triggers this, and don't pretend for a second like you've never seen a Goblin deck get their creatures to be 5/5s. Big Goblin Krenko, I'm calling it now, it's going to be the next big thing. Joking aside, this card is sneaky good. For our white card, we have Dawn of Hope. 1 in a white, enchantment. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. 3 in a white, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. This is a great late game mana dump post board wipe card. Is a couple of 1/1s going to win you the game? Maybe, depending on the deck, but probably not. But what they will do is gain you some life to help stabilize and get you some card draws with some open mana. This card may only cost 2, but it really shines as a late game card to help us get back into the game. And in these colors, that's what we really need, even if we aren't all in on the life gain part. Our black card is an oldie but a goodie. Fell Shepherd is 5 black, creature type, Avatar. Whenever Fell Shepherd deals combat damage to a player, you may return to your hand all creature cards that were put into the graveyard from the battlefield this turn. Pay 1 black, sacrifice another creature, target creature gains -2/-2 until end of turn. This card is scary when you actually play it, but the 7 mana to cast can be pretty backbreaking to play, but also being able to get all the creatures back into your hand is pretty sweet. This is a card that I would be super interested in an Aristocrats deck where you're already wanting to attack. That way you can get some unblockable on this guy and bring back your board after sacrificing it all. Plus, the added benefit of being able to use removal just by sacrificing your creatures makes this a really sweet inclusion. Our multicolored card for the day is an Is-It inclusion. Behold, Kaza Royal Chaser. Blue and a red, legendary creature human wizard with flying and haste. Tap. The next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less to cast, where X is the number of wizards you control as this ability resolves. 1/2. Now, this only lets us reduce 1 instant or sorcery spell per turn on average at the same cost as Goblin Electromancer, but this decreases the first spell by the number of wizards you control. That means incidental wizard tribal, including things you are probably already going to run, like Goblin Electromancer, Mizzix of the Ismagus, Tolerant the Sky Summoner, etc. This will let us start off our turn with 1 big flashy spell or use a powerful spell on an opponent's turn. This also lets us hold up less mana when we would normally need to. This card is super sneaky and surprisingly good. And for our colorless card, we have Bloodforged Battle Axe. 1 mana, artifact equipment, equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Bloodforged Battle Axe, equip cost 2. I don't know how unknown this card actually is, but it will always be underrepresented until every player of Magic knows of its existence. If it isn't obvious already, I love this card. play it early, swing in, get some damage in, get some extra axes. Then in the late game, several board wipes later, we can suit up whatever with a tower of axes and start swinging in like crazy. This card is less good and more fun. I'm here for it. And that's it. Those are the cards. Are there any hidden gems I should include in future videos? If so, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like, and if you really like this video, you can always join my Patreon, or even just my channel here. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful day.